Hello and welcome. My name is Mgangi and I will be presenting Assessment Task 3 for the unit Educators Inquiring About the World. The Great Barrier Reef is the most extensive coral reef system on Earth and therefore has accumulated global media coverage. The Great Barrier Reef also provides a lot of resources to the Australian economy, such as medical supplies. The Great Barrier Reef expands up to 424,000 square kilometres. This would include the 35 catchments that drain into the Great Barrier Reef. The reef is also located along the east coast of Queensland. The Great Barrier Reef contains Indigenous and non-Indigenous heritage linked to the history and condition of the land and sea. The reef's corals form barriers to protect the shores from natural disasters as well. The Great Barrier Reef has provided individuals and organisations with careers and career opportunities and therefore has provided income. Medicines can be produced from the sections of barnacles located on the coral and coral reefs, and therefore this helps the Great Barrier Reef play a pivotal part in providing the Australian health system with medical products. When coral reefs expose their white skeletons due to high stress level events such as a change in the water temperature, this is then called coral bleaching. 98% of the Great Barrier Reef has been impacted by coral bleaching, 18% has been slightly bleached, and only 2% has avoided bleaching altogether. Over 100% of the coral species living within the reef have declined. 40% of the 31 ecosystems have shifted from lacking to inferior conditions. Critical functions have declined since 2014 due to decreases in ecological processes, contributing to the drop of living species present within the reef. As coral reefs perish, the number of species living and relying on the Great Barrier Reef reduces as well. Therefore, regional extinctions can transpire. Scientists also predict a 95% reduction in the issuance of biodiversity living within the Great Barrier Reef due to their sole source of nutrition vanishing. When water and bleach elements come together, they react with light to create organic pollutants that contaminate water, provoking various health outcomes for the species living within the water. This can therefore impact species evolution, reproduction, and additionally habitat loss as well. The recovery time for coral is up to 10 years. However, if the Great Barrier Reef continues to experience frequent bleaching events, corals will not have enough time to recover. Therefore, the reef will quickly die of starvation and cease to exist. There are multiple plans and legislative acts that are aimed to protect and prolong the Great Barrier Reef and the biodiversity living within the Great Barrier Reef through the guidelines, goals, and objectives highlighted within the laws and plans. The laws and plans include the Long-Term Sustainability Plan, Reef Water Quality Protection Plan, and the Great Barrier Reef Marine Park Authority Act 1975, just to name a few. Over the past couple of months regarding the Great Barrier Reef, I will definitely be taking initiative in helping to preserve the Great Barrier Reef by lessening my carbon footprint, so switching from gas energy to reusable energy, picking up my rubbish, throwing it in the bin, making sure it doesn't get in the waterways, and definitely decreasing my fertilizer use as excess nutrients from the fertilizer can generate algae to develop and grow. Another way in which you can help preserve the Great Barrier Reef would be to make a donation to the Great Barrier Reef Foundation today. Thank you very much for listening to my presentation, and I hope you enjoyed.